Today I'm gonna be trying out the brand new $8 e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. I am so excited to put this to the test, so let's get to it. So if you're new, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you're also new to my foundation reviews, I love to do a little demo. I like to do a little first impression, if it's for me, if it's not, and I just kind of give you the pros and cons of the product. But I love more of a natural, radiant finish, a little bit more glowy. Some days I love matte, but honestly, like the actual formulation of a product, I really like it to be glowier finish. But satin is definitely top of my list as well. I love when foundations have like that in between. The medium buildable coverage, it's supposed to be long lasting. It has 1% hydrating hibiscus complex. So I ordered this the day that e.l.f. dropped it. Their shipping was incredible. And again, $8 there was shipping. So it kind of came to maybe $14, $15. But if you're gonna get it in store, it's going to be $8. And their shade range looks like it's going to be great. e.l.f. products kind of run a little bit deep on me, so I did go down a shade. Normally I would go more in the medium range. I did pick up the shade Light Warm, number 22, so I'm hoping that it's gonna work out. My self tan actually faded. I'm not self tan right now, so I think it might work. Their foundations do run a little bit deeper on me, a little bit more yellow toned, so keep that in mind. Just a little bit of the exterior packaging. I love the colorway. It's very simple. Really like it. It's kind of convenient and perfect for like the everyday. The outer packaging kind of reminds me of the Makeup Forever, especially because you can see the physical foundation tone in there, and that's supposed to be your match. And there is about 35 or 36 shades available. So it's supposed to be a long-lasting, hydrating liquid foundation that delivers just right medium buildable coverage with a satin finish, breathable formula that does not feel cakey, plus pomegranate, blueberry, and goji berry extracts. I love that. It's supposed to be non-comedogenic, which is not going to clog the pores. It's great for dry, oily, or combo skin. Be like a barely there finish, but can also be built up for more of a full coverage look, which is nice. And it's supposed to just feel really smooth. I'm going to apply with the BK Beauty Nikki La Rose N17 brush just to get the product on. And then I'll be blending it out probably with the e.l.f. brush. So one thing I'm noticing on the actual packaging, so right here is where the product shade name is. And if I were to peel the sticker off, the shade name's coming off with it. There is like a little like jagged line where it would just kind of like rip off, but I just don't love that that's like able to come off. I wish it was like stamped on the bottle, you know? I'm gonna start by squeezing on the skin. I'm not gonna use any primer today. When I am using a primer, I'm going in usually with the Haley's Beauty Refined Primer, blur up any of the pores, but I'm not gonna go in with the primer today. Ooh, it blends really nice. Super soft blend. It looks pretty good, and I only got one shade, so I can only test out the one shade, so let's go for it. I mean, obviously it looks a little bit lighter compared to all of my other foundations. They all have a little bit more of a olivey skin tone, more natural, but we're just going to see how this works out for me. I'm gonna just dot the rest on my skin. So I usually do half my face with the brush and half my face with a sponge for these reviews. Today, I think I'm just gonna do a brush. I've really been liking applying with a brush lately, so I think that's how I'm going to do this one. Get the product on a little bit more with the BK Beauty brush. Blend it out now with the e.l.f. brush. This is the Complexion Duo brush, and I'm just going to further blend it out. It doesn't feel like it's drying down right away, which is great. There is still some wiggle room. Shade match, I totally could have like went up another shade, but if it oxidizes, it might just match perfectly. So far, it actually looks like it's matching my neck. I keep this as like my non-self-tan shade. Honestly, that blended in really well. It is oxidizing just a bit. Nothing out of the ordinary, crazy. It's not orange at all. Just gonna put a little bit here. I did pick up the shade Warm, so it is kind of running a little bit more yellow tone, not orange at all, which is great. That's something just to note. But I literally hopped on the second that they dropped this because they kind of came out of left field. I saw Trend Mood post this the day before, or 2 days before I actually purchased, and I was like, wow, like that looks really incredible. Something we didn't know we needed, and for under $10, hello, that's insane. And it doesn't look like it claims to be duping anything, at least right now. Like I said, packaging wise, looks like Makeup Forever to me a little bit. So it does claim to be buildable. I'm gonna build it up just a bit more. I'm also going to be bronzing this up a little bit later. I think I did pretty good on the shade match for like not knowing what shade I'd be. I think it looks pretty good. My skin still has a beautiful, radiant look, but it's definitely satin. Like you can see it not looking matte, it not looking too glowy. It looks really healthy. You can still see my freckles and my skin peeking through. I'm gonna add just a touch more, and I'm actually gonna like use my finger to apply. Oh wow. When you use your finger to blend it in, you're still getting so much coverage. Wanted to see how much product you'd actually get on there. I'm just gonna go back in with the Nikki La Rose brush from BK Beauty and just stipple it back on. It's definitely one of those products where if you wanna have more coverage, you would go in with more products after the first layer and really build your way up, and you can totally build it up without being cakey. You just want to be careful of how much product you have underneath the foundation. So if you have on the primer and you have on a moisturizer and all of your skincare, it might kind of like swoosh around together, you know? Just be mindful of that, like how much moisturizer you're putting on. And I have on my skincare already underneath. I have a moisturizer, but I think this looks so pretty. There is 1 fluid ounce in this. So you are getting the normal amount of foundation that you would with like a $17 one. And we all know drugstore is like up there, you know? That looks incredible. I'm looking at my skin in like 3 different mirrors and it's matching my neck and my shoulders, everything so perfectly. I love that. Up close, it's not doing anything funky. It still does allow my freckles to peek through, which I personally don't mind. I think for summer, that's gorgeous. So I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup, keeping it really simple. So far, I'm loving this. This looks so, so good. And I'll be right back. I had to just pop back in while I'm doing the rest of my makeup, and I think it's blending everything so well. And obviously the foundation has been on for about 5-6 minutes before I went in with it, so it's not instantly right away. It's still blending out super smooth, so I really appreciate that. Sometimes if you're a little bit delayed or you wait too long with the satin or matte foundation, it could stick and create patches and everything, and this, I don't see that happening whatsoever. Okay, what is actually in this for $8? I need to know. I'm obsessed with this foundation right now. I had a feeling I was gonna like it, but I love the way that this looks. It worked phenomenal with my tried and true products. I added a little bit of highlighter at the end. I mean, this is literally beautiful. Is it buildable? Yes. Does it feel breathable? Yes. From what I swatched right here to what's on my face right now, I'm obsessed. It blended out so well. There is no streaks, there's no patches. It feels so, so smooth. And this is already dry. No tack at all. Has a beautiful satiny, velvety feel. You need to try this. $8, please. If you have oily, if you have dry, if you have combo, I still think you're going to like it no matter what skin type you have. Try it out. There's no heavy feel. It doesn't feel drying at all. And I didn't use a sponge to apply it, but what I'm thinking is that the sponge is gonna give a little bit less coverage and a little bit more of like a lighter application and just look more like skin. So if you want it to look that way, then use a sponge, but if you wanna opt out and do a little bit more full coverage, and just build it up a bit more, use a brush. That is all I have to really say right now on this foundation. It's totally meeting up to the claims right now. So sometimes, just because it has a lower price tag does not mean it's not gonna feel luxe or look stunning. Like, you definitely don't wanna miss out on this. Totally gonna pick up or order one of my self-tan shades, and whether I need to mix them, that's another thing. I usually mix my foundations. What's going on with that? I didn't have to mix them. This was like a perfect shade for me. And I actually don't think this one ran too yellow either, so that's a plus as well. I'm gonna leave it on and I'm gonna check back with you guys a little bit later. Not sure like how many hours or what, but I will come back on camera and share with you guys my thoughts. Honestly, feel like there's nothing on my skin but leaving such a flawless look behind. It could be undetectable and just like a little bit of a coverage if you wanna just apply a little bit, almost like a BB cream, or if you wanna build it up, you're gonna get this like soft glam look, because e.l.f. literally did it again. Like, they always do it, they never fail. Let's just get that straight. But this, something that I just was not expecting for my skin to look like today. I do have natural lighting in front of me as well. I do have 2 studio lights right here, but I am sitting in front of a window and I think this looks incredible. Also, still giving like that softened, velvety look to the skin while giving the hydration. So you really have your in-between, and I think it's like the most gorgeous finish ever. I'll check back in a little bit. So it's a little later. I was able to get some footage for you in front of a window in my bedroom. No studio lights, not in this room at all. You can definitely see a little bit more of like my skin. So I'll pop it in right here for you. But this is a little bit later now. I am with my studio lights, but a little bit later. And like I said, I do sit in front of a window as well, but I do have about 3 lights that are in front of me. You guys, I did just eat, so my mouth is looking crusty, but I absolutely love this, okay? This looks amazing. Still looks so good. Typical crease, that's it. I will be going back and getting another shade, and we should be good on that. Around my mouth, because it is more of a lighter tone, it does appear a little bit grayish. I don't know if it's coming that way on camera, but it does look a little bit discolored around my mouth, but I think that's just because of the shade. Naturally, I have a little bit of discoloration right here by my lips, so if it's a little bit of a deeper tone, it kind of masks it. So because it's lighter, it's just pulling a little bit ashier. That's what I think. But honestly, really, really love this. Like I said, gonna be getting the other shade for myself so I can wear it on the everyday. Can totally see myself wearing this on the everyday, which is amazing. You can amp it up, you can tone it down. So it's really just how you wanna wear it, personal preference. and what you feel works best for your skin. That is what we are looking like, and I really love it. Nothing negative. Of course, we'll always have an update in the description box, so make sure you check there. I'm gonna link it for you so you can easily shop. If anything changes, I will put it down below to get your hands on it before it's sold out. I can already see this being like the best foundation right now, especially drugstore foundation. And we just love a soft glam look, and this is totally providing that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.